Now we will see complex exponential signal. Complex exponential signal. Up to now I explained you the real exponential signal for continuous time variable and discrete time variable. Now I will go for complex exponential signal. Complex exponential signal. I will go for complex exponential signals. Okay, complex exponential signals. Now, how a complex exponential signal will be represented? Okay, so how will we represent a complex exponential signal? So in this complex exponential signal also we have two types. One is continuous time. One is continuous time. Another one is discrete time. First I will explain with respect to the continuous time variable t. So a continuous time complex exponential signal can be represented by the equation x of t equal to capital A into e power small s into t. Simple. A continuous time complex exponential signal can be represented by the equation x of t equal to a into e power st. See, for real exponential signal, x of t is represented as capital A into e power a alpha t. Here we have written e power st. So only I replaced alpha with s. There alpha is a real one. Here s is a complex one. So complex number is a combination of both real and imaginary. There is a only chain. So in this, as there is a term nothing but s, there is a letter s which is a complex one. Hence this is a complex exponential signal. Here a is amplitude. Same like that one. A is amplitude and s is complex. So complex variable. So complex variable means it consists of both real and imaginary. So here the s is a combination of both real and imaginary. Now s will be equal to sigma plus j omega. So the real term is represented with sigma and the imaginary term is shown with omega. So real plus imaginary, j represents the imaginary. So the imaginary value is omega and the real value is sigma. So s will be represented as equal to sigma plus j omega. Okay. Now see in this. So in this, first of all I am considering x of t. Consider x of t equal to a into e power st, where here the value of s, the complex number value, will be equal to sigma plus j omega. So how can you write this equation? A into e power sigma plus j omega into t. So in place of s, I substituted sigma plus j omega. So that will be equal to a into e power a plus b into t. So e power at plus bt. Okay, e power a plus b into t. So something a plus b into c, a into c plus b into c. Now that will be equal to a into e power x plus y. E power x plus y is nothing but e power x into e power y. We consider this as x, we consider this as y. E power x plus y. Then we have to write e power x into e power y. So a into e power x, this one, into e power this one. Simple. Okay. So e power sigma t plus j omega t I had written as e power sigma t into e power j omega t. Okay. Now you have to know the trigonometric formula. What is the trigonometric formula for e power? What will be the trigonometric formula for e power j theta, e power j theta, e power j theta equal to cos theta plus j sin theta, e power j theta equal to cos theta plus j sin theta. So use the formula here. So e power j omega t, treat this omega t as theta. Then how can you write this e power j omega t? Simply cos, by using this formula, cos omega t plus j sin omega t. So you can replace this with cos omega t plus j sin omega t using this formula. So this equation becomes a into e power sigma t into cos omega t plus j sin omega t, cos omega t plus j sin omega t. I hope you are clear up to now. Simple logics, okay. So finally what I get, x of t is equal to some amplitude a into if you expand this one, you can go for e into sigma t cos omega t plus e into sigma t j's into e sigma t sin omega t. You can write like this, or you can left with this only. So this is enough, this value is enough for us. A into e power sigma t into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. This is our x of t. This is our x of t. Okay, simple. Now I got the equation for x of t. That is a continuous time complex exponential signal. Continuous time complex exponential signal. So simple. The continuous time complex exponential signal is written with x of t equal to a into e power st, where s is a complex and a is amplitude. Here s is a complex number. That is nothing but s will be equal to sigma plus j omega. So this is the real term. This is real term and this is imaginary term. This is the real term and this is the imaginary term. So sigma plus j omega. So it is a combination of both real and imaginary. Hence it is a complex number. As a complex number is present in the equation, this is a complex exponential signal because we have e power that complex number. So this is, as t is present, this is a representation of continuous time complex exponential signal. Okay. Now based on the values of this sigma and omega, based on the values of this sigma and omega, we have different types of complex exponential signals. We have different types of complex exponential signals based on the values of sigma and omega. Based on the values of sigma and omega. Okay. So you have to know what the value of. So if you know the values of the sigma and omega, you can write different types of complex exponential signals. Okay. So how they will look like? First, I will show you different cases. Here we have total 6 cases. 6 cases. The first one. That means the sigma and omega is a part of S. That means for different values of S, we get different types of complex exponential signals. As X contains both sigma and omega, for different values of sigma and omega, we have different types of complex exponential signals. That is here mainly, that is for different values of S. First thing. So in this sigma and omega. Now first case, if I make the imaginary term as 0, this is 0. We have only the real term. That is sigma. So then the equation becomes as this equation. So this is 0. 0 into is 0. So x of t equal to a into e power sigma t. A into e power sigma t. If the imaginary part is 0, only real part, then the equation x of t equal to capital A into e power sigma t. Capital A into e power sigma t. Okay. Simple. There is a real exponential signal. I have written x of t equal to capital A into e power alpha t. Here a into e power sigma t. There I had taken the constant as alpha. Here they had taken the constant as sigma. That is the only difference. The letter has changed, but the concept is same. There I have taken 3 different values for alpha. That is alpha equal to 0. Alpha is positive, that is greater than 0. And alpha is negative, that is less than 0. Here also we have to take 3 cases. So first, while imaginary is 0, then for the real part we have to consider 3 cases. First case is sigma equal to 0. Next case is sigma is positive, that is greater than 0. Next case is sigma is negative, that is less than 0. Okay, less than 0. So first, as the imaginary is 0, sigma is also 0. This is 0, 0. 0 plus 0 is 0 plus 0, 0. That is S value is 0. The first condition is S equal to 0, because here I am taking imaginary part 0 and sigma value also 0. Both are 0. So I have to consider S value as 0. 0 into t, 0. E power 0, 1. 1 into a. So the shape is same. What I get there for alpha equal to 0. The shape is same. So what is the shape there? You all know the shape of the signal. What's that? This is t and this is x of t for s equal to 0. Is a constant line with amplitude a. That's the first one. Next case. Next second one. Second one is for now sigma is a positive value greater than 0. That is plus 6. That is what will be the value of s? In second case, the s will be equal to sigma. Sigma is a positive means plus sigma. If you write plus or if you leave it, there is no difference. So simply we can write s equal to sigma. That means the sigma is positive. It's greater than 0. Then what will be the shape? The shape of the signal is a growing exponential. You already know this. So the signal for x of t, where s equal to sigma, growing exponential, and this is the value of a. This is the value of t. The last case, third one is, what is the last case? Third one. The sigma value is negative. It is less than 0. Then that is minus. So where there the value of s for third case. So I am writing like here. Right here. Okay. Third case. Sigma value is less than 0. Negative. It is minus sigma. Or simply you can write s equal to minus sigma. So negative value. So there is a decaying exponential. How can you write? So this is x of t. This is t. So that will be a decaying exponential. See, that will be decay like this. Okay, decaying exponential, and this value is a. So same what we got for the real exponential signals. For a equal to 0 and a is greater than 0, that is positive, and a is less than 0, that is negative. Constant amplitude for all values of t, and this is growing exponential, this is decaying exponential. So for this I had explained you first real exponential, okay, and then I gone for complex. Now the fourth one. So now what I will take, first I will imaginary as 0 and the real values as 0, greater than 0, less than 0. Now I take real value as 0. Real value is sigma as 0. Now take sigma as 0. If sigma is 0, then what is the value of s? S equal to this is 0. So we have j omega. S equal to j omega. So here sigma is 0. 0 into 1, 0. E power 0, 1. Then that will be a into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. A into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. That means this x of t consists of only cos and omega sinusoidal signals with amplitude a. Sinusoidal signals with amplitude. That is real part is a sine. Real part, okay, is cos omega t, and the imaginary part is sin omega t. So we get the sinusoidal shape signals with amplitude a whenever alpha equal to, whenever sigma equal to 0. Sigma equal to 0, and we have the value of j omega. That is, whenever s equal to 0, we will get a sinusoidal shape. We will get a sinusoidal shape. Okay, we will get a sinusoidal shape. we will get a sinusoidal shape. So this is x of t when s equal to j omega. S equal to j omega. So if you go for negative axis also, j omega. Okay. Now this is the one and the last cases. Now we will see the last two cases of a continuous time complex exponential signals. Continuous time complex exponential signals. So up to now I considered the values of s. I considered the 4 different values of s. Up to now I considered the 4 different values of s. Okay, in that first I made real and imaginary part as zeros. Next I made imaginary part as zeros for 2 cases. And next I made a real part as 0 and only imaginary part as present. Okay, so in the first 4 cases, I had taken either imaginary or real, any one of these. So I had taken imaginary part or real part. I doesn't consider both. Actually, the topic is continuous time exponential, continuous time exponential signals, complex exponential signals, continuous time complex exponential. So the complex is a combination of both real and imaginary. So the last 2 cases are very very important, because in the last 2 cases we will have both real and imaginary parts. Okay, so the fifth case here we go for fifth case in continuous time complex exponential signal. So the topic is continuous time complex exponential signal. Continuous time complex exponential signal. Okay, so this is a continuous time complex exponential signal. In that I'm going to explain you the last 2 cases where both real and imaginary parts are present. We all know that S is a combination of real and imaginary. So real part I am representing with sigma and imaginary part I am representing j omega. Okay, so here both sigma and j omega are present. So I am considering sigma plus or minus j omega. The fifth case is S equal to sigma plus or minus j omega. Okay, now generally if there is no real part, if there is only imaginary part, if there is no real part, there is only imaginary part, j omega, there is S equal to j omega. There is a fourth case. So there we know that the shape of the signal is an sinusoidal signal, general sinusoidal signal. Now along with this j omega I am adding the real part sigma. So now based on the value of that sigma, the sinusoidal wave either increase or decrease. That is, it grows exponentially. The sinusoidal signal either may grow exponentially or it may decay exponentially based on the value of sigma. That means the last 2 cases are S equal to sigma plus or minus j omega. In that we have 2 subscript, that is the values of sigma. So based on that we will get either increasing sinusoidal or decreasing sinusoidal. Okay, without the sigma, if you go for S equal to j omega, we have simple sinusoidal signal with constant amplitude. A. Okay, now here I am going for both real and imaginary parts, that is sigma plus or minus j omega, and I am taking sigma value as greater than 0. Now what happens? It is greater than 0. So the sinusoidal signal grows exponentially. Simple. Now the waveform will be like this. Yes. I'm starting with this one. Shorter one and next. Bigger one and next. Bigger one and next. Simple. So the waveform is increasing. It is the sinusoidal signal is exponentially growing. It is growing exponentially. Growing exponentially. Okay, grows exponentially. For s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega and sigma value is greater than 0. The next one, the last one of this continuous time complex exponential signals, sixth case. Here also the s value is both real and imaginary, that is sigma plus or minus j omega. Here the value of sigma is less than 0. The value of sigma is less than 0. Less than 0. Simple. Then what happens to the sinusoidal wave? The sinusoidal wave will decrease. That is, the amplitude of the sinusoidal wave will decrease. Simply, the sinusoidal signal decays exponentially. Exponentially, it will decay. The amplitude of the sinusoidal wave exponentially decays. Okay, simple. For this case, s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega, where sigma is less than 0, the amplitude of the sinusoidal signal decays exponentially. So the graph, how the graph will look like? See how the graph will look like. Okay. Now, has to decay exponentially. So for that, I've taken a bigger one first, and then the amplitude reduces a bit, and then the amplitude reduces further. Okay. More. Okay, simple. So this is the last one, that is for the value of s, where the s equals sigma plus or minus j omega and the sigma value is less than 0. The waveform shape will be like that. Okay. So for both the cases, on x-axis we will consider t, on y-axis we will consider x of t. Okay, x of t. So we all know that what is x of t? X of t equal to a into e power st, where s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega and sigma is greater than 0. In the same way, here also on x-axis I will consider time, and on y-axis I will take, on y-axis I have x of t. So x of t. So in that x of t we have the value of s, where s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega and the sigma value is less than 0. Okay. So with this last two I finished the continuous time complex exponential signal. Continuous time complex exponential signal. Okay. Continuous time complex exponential signal will all finished. In this I had 6 cases for s. First, s equal to both are zeros. There is no real part or imaginary part. That is s equal to 0. Next, s equal to sigma. S equal to sigma. That is, there is no imaginary part and the value of that real part is greater than 0. That is positive one. Second case. Third case, s equal to minus sigma. In third case, there is no imaginary part and we have only a real part, that is sigma, which is less than 0. Hence, s equal to minus sigma. In the fourth case, there is no real part, only imaginary part. So s equal to j omega. S equal to j omega. And the fifth case, we have both real and imaginary parts. Hence, s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega, and the value of sigma is greater than 0. In the fifth case, in the last one, the sixth case, s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega, and here the sigma value is less than 0. So this is completely about continuous time continuous time complex exponential signal. So the final one is a discrete. Now I am moving on to discrete time complex exponential signal. Okay, now I'm moving on to discrete time complex exponential signals. Okay, discrete time complex exponential signals. See, this discrete time complex exponential signals. We are going to see discrete time complex exponential signals. Now first, how can we represent a discrete time complex exponential signal? First, because for continuous time complex exponential signal also you have a representation, that is x of t equal to capital A into e power st, where s equal to sigma plus or minus j omega. Okay, the same way here for discrete time complex exponential signals also we have representation, that is the discrete time complex exponential signals are generally represented by x of n, because it is discrete, so we have to go for x of n. So x of n equal to a power n into e power, because exponential, a power n into e power j into omega naught n plus phi. X of n equal to a power n into e power j omega naught n plus phi. And you all know the value of e power j theta. What is e power j theta? Cos theta plus j sin theta. Treat completely this as theta. So e power j theta is in the form of e power j theta. Then this can be written as, how can we write this? That will be equal to a power n into this one, e power j theta. Treat this as theta. So what happens? Cos theta plus j sin theta. That means cos of, that means here we have to write cos of this one, omega naught n plus phi plus j sin of omega naught n plus phi. So this is the equation that will represent the discrete time complex exponential signal. Okay, discrete time complex exponential signal. So here we will have three cases. The three cases are dependent on the variable a. So here we have to consider mod of a. It is plus or minus, will be treated as a plus, that is mod of a. So the three cases, first we have to consider here three cases. First one, mod a will be equal to 1. Mod a will be equal to 1. The second case, mod a greater than 1. And third case, mod a less than 1. Mod a less than 1. The third case. Third one, mod a less than 1. So these are the three cases. For discrete time complex exponential signals. Okay. Now we will see the first case of discrete time complex exponential signal. The first case is mod a equal to 1. So I will go for this one. The first case of x of n where mod a equal to 1. So we have to draw the waveform for this one. So simply I can draw the waveform like this. So treat this as n and treat this as x of n. Now x of n equal to a power n e power j into omega naught n plus phi, and here the mod a equal to 1. 1 whole power n. So what is the power of n? It is 1. What is the power of anything is 1. Simply 1 power 9, 1 power 10, 1. So 1 into e power j into omega naught n plus phi. Simply the answer is 1 into cos of omega naught n plus phi plus j into sin of omega naught n plus phi. 1 into some x is the value of nothing but x. 1 into y. Simply, so the answer of x of n is this one, cos of omega naught n plus phi plus j sin of omega naught n plus phi. Simple. Here both real and imaginary parts of this discrete time complex exponential signal are sinusoidal. Both real and imaginary parts of this signal are sinusoidal. So the shape of the signal will also be a discrete sinusoidal. Simple. In general, for discrete time signals, we call that as sequence, that is discrete time sequence, because we'll take the value of n as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So in most of the cases, we'll treat that discrete time sequences. We'll call as discrete time sequences rather than signals. So you can call it either signal or sequence, whatever it may be. It's up to you. Okay. So in some textbook or in some representations, they will represent as represent that a discrete time complex exponential sequence. Discrete time complex exponential sequence. Why? Because the n value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So that's why they will treat that as sequence. Now, here the waveform is starting here. We let sinusoidal signals. So sinusoidal signals means discrete. We need discrete. Okay, see, sinusoidal discrete time sinusoidal sequence or signal. Okay, so this is n and this is x of n. For mod a will be equal to 1, mod a equal to 1. This is our first case. Okay, first case. So we have to see the next two cases. So the next two cases for mod a greater than 1 and mod a less than 1, those two cases resembles the last two cases of continuous time complex exponential signal, resembles the last two cases. So here for sigma greater than 0, it is the amplitude of the sinusoidal grows exponentially. In the same way, for mod a greater than 1 also, the a greater than 1 also, the sequence, that is the sinusoidal sequence, grows exponentially, and for mod a less than 1, the sinusoidal sequence decays exponentially. So we will see the two waveforms for these two cases. With that we will finish the discrete time complex exponential signals. Now we will see the second and third case, the last two cases of discrete time complex exponential signals. Okay, now the second case of a discrete time complex exponential signal, the second case. So we'll go for second case. Okay, so that is mod a value is greater than 1, mod a value is greater than 1. So we have to draw the signal or the sequence waveform for x of n, where mod a in that x of n is greater than 1. See, I have to go for the diagram, go for the waveform. Okay, now here first this is x of n and this is n. This x of n equal to a power n into e power j omega naught n plus phi. So that is the value of x of n. So now I have to draw this waveform. Okay, I have to draw the waveform. So I have to draw the sequence. How the sequence will be for mod a greater than 1? Simply mod a is greater than 1. That is, there is an increment in that sinusoidal sequence. That is, the amplitude of the sinusoidal sequence grows exponentially. The amplitude of the sinusoidal sequence grows exponentially. So simple. So if we start like here, you want to start like here. Simple logic. It will grow. Okay. First is next. Second case, next the grows. Next. Okay. See, it is increasing exponentially. It is increasing exponentially. See, now the amplitude of the sinusoidal signals grows exponentially. Okay, exponentially it will increase exponentially. So this is the, that is, this is n, and this is x of n equal to a power n e into e power j into omega naught n plus 5, where mod a greater than 1. Okay, simple. Now in the same way, we will go for the last one, that is the third case. The last one, the third case, that is mod a less than 1. Mod a less than 1. Okay, so simple. For mod a less than 1, that is the sinusoidal sequence, the amplitude of the sinusoidal signal will decay exponentially. Simple. Consider this as some n. Okay, this is n. Now this is x of n. Here x of n will be equal to a power n into e power j omega naught n plus 5. Okay, so here, and the mod of a value is less than 1. The mod a value is less than 1. So less than 1 is, it is sinusoidal sequence will decrease. That means the amplitude of the sinusoidal signal will decay exponentially. So the first one, we have a large values. Here the amplitude is high. Next, the amplitude reduces somewhat. And next, the amplitude reduces somewhat. And next, the amplitude reduces somewhat. Now the amplitude reduces somewhat. See, so here the amplitude of the sinusoidal sequence is decaying exponentially, as shown in the diagram. Okay, so these are the second and third cases of discrete time complex exponential signal. See, the first case for discrete time complex exponential sequence is mod A equal to 1. There, the real and imaginary parts of the signal or the sequence are sinusoidal. Okay, the second case, x of n equal to a power n e to the power of j omega naught n plus phi. In that, the mod A value is greater than 1. Now, the amplitude of the sinusoidal signal grows exponentially as shown in the waveform, as shown in the diagram. In the third case, and the last one, mod A is less than 1. For that case, the amplitude of that sinusoidal signal will decrease as shown in the diagram. Okay, so these are the three cases for discrete time complex exponential signals. With this, I finished the both continuous time complex exponential signal and discrete time complex exponential signal. That is, finished complex exponential signals concept. Okay, now I will go for the summary. Now I will go for the summary of the topic complex exponential and sinusoidal signals. Okay, so in complex exponential and sinusoidal signals, I am going for the summary. In that complex exponential and sinusoidal signals, first I started with sinusoidal signals. So in that sinusoidal signals, I explained you both continuous time and discrete time. That is, I went for x of t as well as x of n. Okay, next I explained you about real exponential signals. So in this real exponential signals also, okay, I explained you both for continuous time and discrete time. That is, I explained you for continuous time x of t and for discrete time variable x of n, both continuous time and discrete time signals. Okay, and lastly I explained you about complex exponential signals. Again, these complex exponential signals also I explained with respect to both continuous time and discrete time. Signals. So I explained completely the topic complex exponential and sinusoidal signals. So with this we finished our class and finished the topic complex exponential and sinusoidal signals. Okay, thank you one and all.